All right, here we are with the first recording of my podcast. Isn't this cool?
Yeah. Did you figure out a name for your podcast yet?
Oh, no. What do you think? I'm thinking something just like really simple, like the Justin Murphy podcast or something.
You should just riff off of Joe Rogan and do the Justin Murphy experience.
No, that's dumb. He's pretty cool, but... no, I don't even want to do the Justin Murphy podcast. I don't even really want my name in it. So it's too traditional, kind of like individualistic, like show host kind of thing. I don't want that. Maybe I'll just call it like the podcast. What do you think?
So why are you making a podcast?
Just because it seems like a fun thing to do, and you know me, I like to have like long, intense conversations, right? So it's hard to do that in most settings. So this is just like a pretext for doing that with interesting people.
Well, maybe we should introduce ourselves and say who we are and stuff.
Okay, my name is Justin Murphy, most widely known for the world famous podcast called
The Podcast.
Well, we can do that. You go first.
Well, I just want to say my name. My name's Aria. Yeah. My relation to Justin is Wrangler.
What? No, I'm supposed to introduce you. I think that's how podcasts work.
That's true, because I'm not going to be on the podcast after this.
Yeah. So we are here now with Aria Alamalhodaei, who is a world-class poet, intellectual writer, researcher, reader, television watcher, Netflix consumer.
Wow.
And
wow, what shining words you have for me.
And last but not least, wife of mine.
That's true.
Is this getting mushy now?
No.
Okay.
No, we can't too readily associate the words wife with mushiness.
No, I think
silly.
I think we should kind of like air our like personal dramas every week. I think people will eat it up. It'll be like a soap opera kind of.
Yeah, like the Real Housewives of Southampton.
The Real Housewife and
you're a housewife.
House husband
of Southampton, yeah.
So what do you think I should do with this podcast?
Well, I like your idea of just being able to talk to interesting people. I mean, it's kind of difficult because if you make a podcast, you're implying that you have something worth listening to. Like, the things that you say are worth listening to.
Yeah, I definitely do.
So you should just, own that. Yeah.
I definitely do.
You just need to own that. I don't think you're really owning that. You should just be like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I guess the honest truth is I want to make a podcast because I want to speak at length about what I think, and I want everyone else to hear it.
Exactly.
to hear it and to convince them of it. You're right. Okay. That's good advice. Thanks. So that's what this podcast is going to be about also. Interesting people, good, interesting conversations with interesting people, and also just me blasting people's ears with my opinions and unique, very valuable perspective.
Because this is probably the difference between a podcast and an interview, because an interview is all about who you're interviewing, but a podcast really is just people blabbing.
Yeah. This will involve interviews, but I don't actually care about the people I'm interviewing. They're really just pretexts. They're pawns.
We might be going.
They're pawns. Well, you told me to own it. The people I interview will really just be pawns for me, a foil against which I will be able to sort of expound my positions and perspectives. I'm owning it.
Yeah, I like where this is.
Well, I hope future guests I invite don't listen to this first one.
No one's going to listen to this first one. It's going straight in the bin.
No, but in all seriousness, I do sincerely like the idea of using podcasts also as a way of focusing sort of your attention and your listening skills. You know, if I invite people I actually really am interested in, even just friends or whatever, this sort of focuses the attention on the conversation and makes you actually want to draw out the best in the person you're talking to, because it's a sort of collective. Mm-hmm. Like creative process. So I feel like that actually will make me more attuned and attentive to the people I talk with than I would be like at a party, right?
Yeah, I think also when you know that you're being recorded, you're just more self-aware and you pay more attention to what you say and how you say it.
Hopefully in a good way.
Yeah,
right.
Probably in a way that's neither good nor bad, but and I think that can only have good effects on a conversation.
The other reason
Actually, I don't know. Well, but it'll have effects on a conversation.
Yeah. One of the other reasons I want to start this podcast is simply just because I do have a lot of ideas and I get them at a rate that is too fast to write them down, basically. So I feel like I'm always coming up with ideas, just interesting thoughts or ideas that I feel are worth developing or, expressing or putting on record somehow. But no one has the time or energy to take every good idea they get in their mind and translate it into like a product, right? Whether it be like a paper or an article or even just a written paragraph. That takes like a lot of resources and time that people just don't have. So I feel like this is a really interesting solution to that, because if you just have a regular podcast, sort of have a space where you can constantly just be putting ideas in a kind of low cost, fun, easy way, ideas that aren't necessarily developed. So yeah, that's one of the real reasons I think why I've really been drawn to do this.
I think that sounds good, but I think the real reason why you're drawn to this is because you want to talk about Beyonce. And you're too tired to write like a think piece about it. So, because I know you've been listening to Lemonade on repeat.
I literally have not listened to any of it yet. But I know what you're doing here. This is actually you using me as a pretext.
As a foil for me to talk about Beyonce.
Yes, I know that that's what you want. So I think all of our listeners would be really interested to know what you think of the new Beyonce album.
No, I was kind of kidding. The world doesn't need another person's opinion about Beyonce. And I truly believe that.
Are you sure? Because I know you do have thoughts and opinions on it. Oh, sorry. Very rude. I'll have to turn my cell phone off in future podcasts.
No, I really believe that the world has enough opinions about Beyonce. And also that if the world needs another opinion about Beyonce, it's probably not going to be mine.
That's extremely honorable of you.
Not really honorable, but I did just put it onto my phone, the album, so when I go to the store, I'm going to listen to it on repeat.
You know what I think about Beyonce.
The world does not need to know what you think about Beyonce either.
Well, you're very honorable and humble, but
I, on the other hand,
I actually think the world would very much benefit from knowing my particular opinions about Beyonce.
No.
Go ahead and ask
me.
I
just surveyed the entire world, and the consensus is no.
All right, let me lay it down, since you're so eager to know. Basically, I feel pretty confident that Beyonce and Jay-Z are just a sinister corporate plot, and I don't think they actually have any real personal romantic relationship or reality to them. I think that they basically sit behind closed doors and basically scheme about how they can kind of present themselves to the world and create albums that will sort of maximize interest and obviously profit.
Yeah, you're also the person who probably goes to protests and just yells about GMOs no matter what the protest is.
Oh my god.
You're the one that goes to a protest and it's like, hell no, GMOs. And you're probably think about conspiracy theories and yell about how engines can't melt steel or whatever the fuck that is. And I don't know if we can curse on your podcast, sorry.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
That's the whole point.
It's not for kids.
That's the whole point of independent media. Say whatever the fuck you want.
Oh yeah, true.
So go on insulting me.
What is it? Jet engines can't melt steel beams?
Well, the 9/11 truthers might say otherwise.
No, but that is the truth.
Oh yeah, right.
That is what the 9/11 truthers
right,
say.
They say that the building wouldn't have collapsed just from a plane flying into it.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
In any case, that's you.
Okay. Is there anything else we want to cover?
No, I think you've expressed yourself very well. And this is the last listeners will be hearing from me. I'm more of a behind-the-scenes kind of person.
Well, unless you come on in future episodes as a guest.
True.
Which you might.
True. Well, we'll see.
Cool. Well, thank you for doing this first test podcast. It was fun.
It was very fun. And
I could totally do this multiple times a month.
Well, yeah, it's really so easy.
I guess I'll get better at it. I mean, I guess we're a bit awkward because we've never done this before. But even just as a first run with no preparation or planning, I feel like that
we didn't have any preparation. No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like that was not that hard and probably not that bad. And I'll get better at it as I go.
more importantly, listeners, please feel free to send feedback to
Aria.
Yeah, right.
No way, I don't want feedback. Fuck that. I'm not like a responsive, like public personality type. I don't give a fuck what people think. No comment section on this one.
Okay, cool. Turn it off now.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I would totally be. I'm totally open to hearing about what people think if anyone actually cares to communicate with me. If this podcast were to ever become popular and people actually have an audience, I definitely wouldn't read all the comments and respond to everyone because that just sounds like a shitty life. But but if interesting people ever wanted to reach out to me to talk, whether through email or whatever, however, I don't give a shit. I would definitely entertain that, and if it was interesting people and I was interested in it, yeah.
Also, if any CEOs of any companies are listening and want to give us sponsorships and just send us a lot of money for us to mention their product in the first 30 seconds, I personally feel extremely open to that. So
you're not even doing this podcast.
Yeah, but I'm almost gonna make us money.
No, I don't think I'll do sponsorships, even if this gets an audience. I think that's bullshit. Maybe. I don't know. I guess I'll have to think about that. But I don't really give a fuck either way. I would take, if you're a book publisher and you want to send me books to talk about, that I would maybe be open to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're probably counting our chickens before they hatch because
definitely. Because no one's going to listen.
Podcast, as of right now, has literally 0 listeners.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter. Yeah.
All right. So should we say over and out?
All right. Thank you very much, Aria.
Thank you, Justin.
Goodbye, world.